Chapter 11. The Beloved Ego. Since superior and inferior are two sections of the same thing, it is not superfluous to establish the following corollary. Superior I and inferior I are two aspects of the same tenebrous and pluralized ego. The so-called divine I, or superior I, alter ego, or anything else of the sort, is certainly a trick of the myself, a form of self-deceit. When the I wants to continue here and in the beyond, it self-deceives with the false concept of a divine I, immortal I. None of us has a true I, permanent, immutable, eternal, ineffable, etc., etc. None of us really has a true and authentic unity of being. Unfortunately, we do not even possess a legitimate individuality. The ego, though it continues beyond the grave, has nonetheless a beginning and an end. The ego, the I, is never something individual, undivided, unitotal. Obviously, the I is I's. In Oriental Tibet, the I's are called psychic aggregates, or simply values, whether they be positive or negative. If we think of each I as a different person, we can emphatically assert the following. Within each person who lives in the world exist many persons. Unquestionably, within each one of us live very many different persons, some better, some worse. Each one of these I's, each one of these persons fights for supremacy, wants to be the only one, to control the intellectual brain or the emotional and motor centers any time it can, until another I displaces it. The doctrine of the many I's was taught in Oriental Tibet by genuine clairvoyance, by the truly enlightened. Each of our psychological defects is personified by one or another I. Since we have thousands and even millions of defects, it is obvious that many people live in our interior. In matters of psychology, we have been able to clearly verify that paranoiacs, self-worshippers, and mythomaniacs will never abandon the cult to the beloved ego for anything in the world. Unquestionably, such people mortally hate the doctrine of the many I's. When one really wants to know oneself, one must self-observe and try to know the different I's involved in his personality. If any of our readers do not yet comprehend the doctrine of the many I's, it is due exclusively to the lack of practice in the matters of self-observation. As a person practices inner self-observation, he discovers for himself many people, many I's, which live within his own personality. Those who deny the doctrine of the many I's, those who adore a divine I, have undoubtedly never self-observed seriously. Speaking this time in the Socratic style, we could say that those people not only do not know, but neither do they know that they do not know. Certainly, we can never know ourselves without serious and profound self-observation. Whilst a person continues considering himself one, it is clear that any internal change will be more than impossible.